To this chat now, the CCMA is expected to present a proposal today to help resolve the wage deadlock between Transnet and United National Transport Union. UNTU is demanding a 10% wage hike, housing and medical aid allowances, and the removal of overtime caps. The union has rejected Transnet's offer of a 6% increase over 2 years and a 5.5% in the third, warning that it may proceed with industrial action if no new offer is tabled. We are now joined by UNTU spokesperson Athenkosi Plaatjie. Athenkosi, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Tell us about what your expectations are as the CCMA is set to make its decision today.
Good morning, Aldrin, and good morning to the Newzroom Afrika viewers. Well, UNTU, as you know, that we had basically a 3-day session with the CCMA, and this was a Section 150 in terms of the Labour Relations Act. So the CCMA, as the largest and the most respected dispute resolution body, called the two parties together back to the negotiation table and just to resolve this impasse. And this was also because they understand that Transnet is an economic hub and it's also a strategic economy, so it is of public interest. So what UNTU really expects is that that the CCMA either comes with a revised offer that is going to come from Transnet or a facilitator's proposal. We're not sure which one the CCMA is going to present to us by end of business today, but we're really hoping for a revised offer because our members have made it very clear to us and via our balloting process that they will not accept the current wage agreement that has been signed between Transnet and SATAWU at the moment.
Yeah, tell us about whether UNTU is at this particular stage willing to move from where your demand is currently at, considering that you have this proposal of 6%.
Well, I also want to emphasize that during this facilitated process by the CCMA and also the failed conciliation process, because there was an initial one which we initiated, which collapsed. And then we had that 3-day Section 150 process that was facilitated by the CCMA. UNTU has moved from its mandated process. Remember, before we start any wage negotiation, we do a thorough mandating process. So what we presented to the table to management is what has been mandated by our members. However, we have moved from that 10% and also taking into account that that is not mandated at all, meaning that we have to go back to our constituencies and get a mandate. So it's really important to emphasize that on all 4 occasions, UNTU has moved from the 10% that we've been mandated by our members, but also taking into consideration that we have to go back to our members and present that. And I also want to make it emphasize that at the heart of this impasse is also that non-retrenchment clause. So we did run a 2-week balloting process whereby our leadership office bearers went down to the operating divisions and your depots and spoke to the members, and then we did a secret ballot. And really, when we were holding those meetings, our members made it clear that we cannot sign any agreement that does not include a non-retrenchment clause, especially taking into consideration all the private sector reforms that are currently happening at Transnet. So UNTU has moved from the 10% unmandated by our members. So we're really hoping that Transnet will do the same, because what we've noticed on all 3 occasions that Transnet did not move from that final revised offer, which was extremely very disappointing to us. So we have moved, but we can't disclose all these wage proposals that we put on the table because, as prescribed on Section 150, the process is confidential. The process is private until there is an agreement between the two. So whatever proposals that we get today, then we'll go out on a mandating process again, and then our members will then tell us what they want us to do. Do they want us to sign that revised offer that we received from the CCMA? Or do they want to still embark on industrial action?
But just to confirm, without giving us what the exact figure is, it is below that 10%.
It is definitely below the 10%, and we've also proposed maybe a lengthier wage agreement so that there is labor stability at Transnet, because we do realize that that Transnet is in a rebuilding stage. So we've definitely moved from the 10%; it's way below the 20%, but with also an understanding that we cannot negotiate on a non-retrenchment clause that needs to be included. Back pay needs to be included because our members have been without an increase for 2 months today, actually. So they've really sacrificed those 2 months. So it's important that they receive a back pay. It's important that there's non-retrenchment clause, and it's mostly important that it's better than the agreement that has been signed by SATAWU and Transnet at the moment.
And in your statement, you said that if you don't get what you want out of this process, a 48-hour notice, a strike notice is on the cards as well. Explain to us what will happen here.
Okay, so if we do not receive a revised wage offer from the CCMA this afternoon, then by tomorrow morning we'll issue Transnet with a 48-hour notice that we'll be embarking on industrial action. It's very important that we do things according to the law so that our members are protected while they take to the streets. So that means that our members could be on the streets on Thursday morning.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That is the spokesperson for UNTU, Athenkosi Plaatjie, on the revised offer that they are hoping for once the CCMA make their decision known later on today.